Uzņēmums Schwenk ir viens no inovatīvākajiem būvmateriālu ražotājiem Eiropā, kas īsteno ilgtspējas ražošanas praksi. Schwenk Latvija cementa rūpnīca Brocēnos ir viens no mūsdienīgākajiem nozares piemēriem Eiropā, kurā 85% izmantotā kurināmā ir alternatīvais kurināmais. Tas samazina ražošanas procesā radītās emisijas un padara to videi draudzīgāku. Ļoti augstā temperatūra rūpnīcas krāsnī novērš jebkādu veidu atkritumu un kaitīgo emisiju nonākšanu vidē un gaisā. Par to, kā strādā uzņēmums, aprunāsimies ar tā valdes priekšsēdētāju Reinholds Šneideru.
Is it easy to be sustainable like in this kind of huge company?
Well, of course, cement is one of the products with a very huge CO2 footprint, which is on the one hand bad, of course. On the other hand, it's good because you have a lot to improve. And we have to change our industry. We have to change our company to be more sustainable. Otherwise, we will not stay in the business.
Exactly.
And for us, that's very important to stay for the next generations in the business. We are a family company, and we really think about generations. So we have now the 6th generation. And
6th generation already?
Or the 7th is coming now.
Yes, okay.
Small baby.
Okay.
So we are sustainable, long-term thinking, and innovative. And this helps really that we manage what will come for us in the future. And that will be a huge challenge, of course. We need to follow a CO2 roadmap. We have to come to carbon neutrality. That's very important for us. And we have to, because that's also part of the Green Deal and of the sustainability roadmap of the European government, that we have to be carbon neutral by 2045. So there is a lot of work ahead of us. But with our CO2 roadmap, where at the end we have a carbon neutral plant. And that's why we have a new plant, a lot of new investments, and we have additional investments to be more sustainable. So we have on the other side of the building also very new, commissioned in September, will be commissioned in September this year, and that's a dryer. So a dryer. So also not something maybe you know from at home.
Because I really don't know that much about cement.
It's a big dryer, and we use in the cement plant alternative fuels, we call it. So that's reused waste from industry or household. We can't use it directly in the kiln, in this big long tube you can see here, but we need to dry it. So otherwise you can't use it. It will not burn. And with that dryer, we put hot air in, which is coming anyhow. And then like a big, you know from your dryer at home, where you dry clothes, that you have something moving and put hot air, and then at the end you have a dry product. And this is going then to the kiln.
Okay.
And the goal of that is to reduce the use of fossil fuels. So our goal is, with that dryer and everything else we have here, by next year we want to exclude all fossil fuels here. So no coal, no gas, no oil anymore, only these alternative fuels with high biogenic content and mainly processed waste, you can say. And that helps, of course, reduce CO2.
What about other like cement like companies in Europe? Are they the same like you, like this company, or they are different? Like, I mean, if we think about sustainability.
Of course, our whole industry has to improve. As we discussed at the beginning, we need to improve our industry as we are one of the CO2 heaviest industries. But I think we are leading, especially in innovation, because you need a lot of innovation. You can't do the sustainability in a cement plant with innovation, so you need to be long-term thinking. So I think we are leading. And in Germany, we have one of the first company in the cement business. 150 years ago we started, so we have very long experience. But despite being very old, I think we are very innovative, and that's needed. Fossil fuels is the one thing. We will stop that sooner or later, rather sooner. The other thing, that when you burn limestone in that big kiln, and with the main product which is coming in is limestone from a quarry. But when you burn limestone, you evaporate CO2. So even without fuels, CO2 would come out. You don't see it, but it's there. And to be carbon neutral, you need to capture the CO2. So you need this carbon capture, maybe you have heard of that. And then, of course, you need to store the CO2 or to use CO2. And that will be the next big step in our sustainability roadmap. And we are working on that already. So we have a small semi-industrial plant we will start in a few years in Germany. But for that we need the whole society. So it's not, we can't do it alone. we need partners, the whole infrastructure, we need the government, and we need the whole society. They have to accept this new technology.
And what about your personal life? Like you as yourself, do you also like to do some things which are more sustainable?
I think when you work in a company like Schwenk, and I think we are sustainable, not only in here innovation and CO2 reduction, also health and safety. All our thinking is around health and safety. It's in the core of our business. And if you work for such a company, you get more sustainable yourself. So you think, okay, you think more about waste. What kind of waste do we create? You think a lot more about safety. So when I'm at home, I'm using really the handrails when going up the stairs or down, and I tell my child, you have to use the handrails as well. And those, so I think this helps a lot to work in a sustainable company. And that's something which is for free. I mean, you don't have to spend money on that.
Exactly.
You can just use what you have learned. And that we hope that also our employees do the same. So,
and you're educating them like that also, right?
Yeah, we're educating them. Of course, there are some rules they have to accept, like we address now at the moment.
Those rules. I love those boots and helmets and glasses.
Yeah,
really nice.
you have to wear that in our company. That's a normal dress. Of course, you have to be visible, and that's important to avoid accidents.
Exactly.
And again, that's sustainable to avoid accidents, and also does not cost really money. Avoiding accidents rather brings more efficiency, because you don't have sickness days, absence days, and we also have partners who are very happy now after some time that we implemented all this and all the other rules, because they really have safer environment, safer working conditions, and less sick and unsafe people. So this helps as well.